It's nice to see you all. Thank you for coming. I'm really, really excited about what's ahead for the City of Boston and the entire Commonwealth. We have an incredible leader here, and the city and the state have a lot of big issues to tackle, but I know with the governor's leadership and the team that she's assembling, we are going to have some amazing progress here. We talked a little bit about the pressing needs for city and statewide around housing and transportation, the opportunity and the possibilities ahead of us with climate action that I know the governor is really excited to lean in on as well. And we are here to help at the city level to make sure that her administration is successful, and really looking forward to this partnership.
Well, thank you so much, Mayor Wu. It was great to be able to meet with you today. I know this will be the first of many meetings and many regular meetings and conversations, because that partnership between the city and the state is so important. And it was interesting in speaking because so many of the issues that we confront at a state level are issues that the City of Boston confronts as well. And I think our ability to talk through and work through and think through solutions on climate and resiliency, on housing, on transportation, on substance use disorder and taking care of folks, as well as on workforce and the impact of COVID and what it's meant for workforce. I am really excited. Mayor Wu and I have worked together for many years now in different capacities, and I'm really excited about the opportunity to partner and to work with Mayor Wu and her team going forward.
Governor-elect, do you think the state should be doing more to help Boston deal with opioid crisis that has passed?
I think this is a subject of ongoing discussion, and really, what's important here is that teams are talking. The state team talking with the team here in the City of Boston, working with other towns and cities around the state, making sure that there is a ready flow of information, and then together we'll figure out what we need to do when it comes to housing and treatment and options. It's all about communication, and it is about partnership.
Governor Baker did say, that the state had stepped up to the tune of tens of millions of dollars. So I guess what more do you need to know?
Well, that's what we're going to determine right now. It is true. The state has done an awful lot. I think about the money that has come in over the years, some of it by way of settlements from the Attorney General's office, a lot of it through the legislature as well, and a lot has been provided by cities like Boston. And so right now it's about, let's take stock of where things are at right now, have those conversations, and figure out what we need to do going forward. But everyone, whether you're here in the City of Boston or elsewhere around the state, I think all of us in office share the goal of making sure that people who are dealing with issues of substance use disorder, who are dealing with mental health issues, get the care and the treatment that they need, and that is going to come from both towns and cities and the state.
Did you talk to Governor-elect Healey about that?
Yes, absolutely. I couldn't be more excited for Governor Healey's leadership. This is an issue that I know she cares very deeply about, has already demonstrated in her years of public service some of the strongest, most community-driven leadership here, delivered results for cities and towns already. We are already able to benefit from the settlement that she secured, and using some of those resources to try to repair some of the harm from pharmaceutical companies and others in this space. And so I think we have a partner here, and with every policy, it ends up, the success of our implementation ends up being about the day-to-day conversations, communications on the ground, and the nitty-gritty details of how to move things forward. And we have that commitment, and we have that partner, and I'm eager to help provide whatever support we can in the City of Boston so that we can see that that relationship built at every level with our teams as well.
What do you want to see from the state?
Specifically on the issue of funding regarding the pipes that are being distributed along Mass and Cass for the use of narcotics, for the use of smoking, how are they being funded? Is that state funding or is it city funding?
So this is part of the state's program. State funding has, for about 30 years at this point, move forward harm reduction and measures that are meant to save lives. And so Boston, like other cities across the Commonwealth and frankly cities across the country, since about the early 1990s, when data and studies have shown that, in fact, a big driver of transmissible diseases and fatalities was preventable. And so we have seen that some of these efforts, there are many pieces that go into addressing the opioid crisis, but every step that we take has to also be about immediately saving lives. And so we regularly take in many, many more syringes than are given out through the harm reduction programs, for example, and we have seen a big drop and data proven success with the parts of the goals of this program, which are to ensure that there is a stop to communicable diseases that are preventable.
What are you looking for from the state? Actually, if it's the last question, rent control. What is your stance on that, and what are you looking for?
I said that when it comes to this, it's up to communities to decide. I will tell you that housing will be a priority, continue to be a priority for the Healey-Driscoll administration. We're working really hard, looking at a lot of policies right now, looking at a lot of things that we can do to support housing production around the state. One of the things that the mayor and I spoke about is that housing, just like transportation, are really, really key to moving us forward. And this is an area where we need everyone working together to do what we need to do to fix what needs fixing in terms of transportation, but also to deal with the real housing crisis around this state, where too many homes are out of reach, rents are unattainable, and so we need to be thinking with a mindset that all solutions are on the table, and we're going to work together in partnership, as well as with the development community, in looking to incent that and make that happen.
Following up on that, if
I'll just-
you're able to get a home rule petition to your desk through the legislature, will you sign it?
So, and that was a little bit of what I was going to say anyway, that, the way that I approach policy is that it's not concrete until we've put the details forward. Our goal is to put forward a really strong, effective policy for the City of Boston, to the Boston City Council, to make sure that we pass our policy up here at the city level, which will then need state sign-off as well. And then as that process plays out, to make the case why this is good policy for the city. And so we look forward to nailing down all the details. Those are, it's impossible to say, are you for this or that, without looking at the specifics of it. And so our goal is to really present all of the research and the conversations and data and thinking that is behind our policy, and make the case that this is what we need in this moment in the City of Boston, and then work and engage the state at that point.
All right, thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Great, thank you. We'll talk more then. Thank you.
Thank you.
Sorry.
There's a narrative that you are the more progressive.
Okay, good.